Are you fired up? Are you fired up? Ready to go? Fired up! Ready to go! Fired up! Ready to go! Welcome to the 2018 Baltimore Women's March. Baltimore, my sisters, the steering committee would like to thank each and every one of you for showing up today. We would like to thank you for being part of this collective body as we move to action and march to the polls. And before we get started, I want you to stand firm in your power. Take a breath and repeat after me. I am beautiful. I am brilliant. I am loved. I am powerful beyond measure. And together, we will heal Baltimore and the rest of the world. Let's go. We have a lineup of really dynamic and powerful speakers today. We have the leaders from across our state, and people, you're going to hear from people in the community who are doing the work to lift up women here in Baltimore and across the state. But first, we want to take a moment to recognize the host committee for the Baltimore Women's March. From 1199 SEIU, Ricard Jones. From Baltimore Rising, Arteria Griffin. Baltimore Women United, Odette Ramos, Jessica Clatman, and Ricard Jones. From Black Girls Vote, Patricia Watson. Be More Indivisible, Monisha Shario, and Mary Audubin. From Casa in Action, Liz Alex, I apologize. And from the Council of American Islamic Relations, Zaina Chowdhury. From Emerge Maryland, myself, Lenore Dawson. Thank you. Also, we have, as part of our host and organizing committee, Indivisible Towson, Sarah Mogul from Inform Blue, Not Without Black Women, Brittany Oliver, the Baltimore Transgender Alliance, Ava Pipitone. From Together We Will, Baltimore area, Camille Mahalik and Jill Hornstein. From Together We Will, Howard County, Becca Nyberg. And my name is Charlie Carter. I'm with Maryland Working Families. Baltimore, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our Mayor of Baltimore City. Before I do that, we on the host committee would love to offer a very heartfelt thank you for Mayor Pugh for being a key supporter of this event. We are grateful. We would also like to thank Mayor Pugh for being a champion of women throughout her career and also being a key sponsor for the paid sick leave. So without further ado, it is my pleasure to bring to the stage and introduce to you, Baltimore, our mayor, Mayor Catherine Pugh.
This is a lot better weather than it was last year, am I right? The Me Too movement has continued to inspire all of us. Women working together will make a difference in this community, in this state, and in this country. We've got to get more women voting, because if we do that, we can change the trajectory of our community, of our state, and of this country. I want to remind you all of something. We must learn how to love each other and lift each other up. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no records of wrongdoing. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. So let us push each other forward. Let us continue to lift women up. And I just wanted to acknowledge all of the women in this administration who are leading our Department of Transportation, Michelle Purchue, our Housing Authority of Baltimore, Janet Abrams, our Health Commissioner, Dr. Leana Wynn, Chief of Staff, Kimberly Morton, Chief of Government Relations, Karen Stokes, Head of our Library, Heidi Daniels, Director of the Office of Civil Rights, Jill P. Carter, Director of Logistics and Special Assistant to the Mayor, Jerry Bird, Executive Director of the Baltimore Convention Center, Peggy Diadakis, Executive Director of Live Baltimore, Annie Martin, Director of Human Resources, Mary Talley, Executive Director of the Environmental Control Board, Rebecca Woods, Acting Director of the Department of Social Services, Robin Harvey, Mayor's Office of Sustainable Solutions, Kendra Parlick, Mayor's Office of Immigrants and Multicultural Affairs, Catalina Rodriguez, Director's Office of Constituent Services, Daphne Williams, Labor Commissioner, Deborah Moore Carter, General Manager, Charm TV, Tanya Lee, Director of Main Streets, Verna Jones, Director of External Affairs, Afra Vance White, Press Secretary, Amanda Griffin, and more Smith, and more and more and more. We can lift women. We have a responsibility when we're in these positions to lift other women. Let's push each other forward. Let's continue this movement. We can change America, you all. Let's get our women out to vote.
Thank you, Mayor Pugh. Next, it's my privilege to introduce two distinguished leaders who are taking time out from the fight in Washington, D.C. to be here today to celebrate with you. We know for the last year that our congressional delegation in Maryland has stood up to Donald Trump. They have stood up to hatred and bigotry. They have stood up to xenophobia and attacks on women and attacks on families and health care. The government shut down last night. I don't know if you all heard that, but they're here today to fight for us and to be charged up by you. So I want you to let them hear what they're fighting for. Let's give it up for Senator Ben Cardin and Senator Chris Van Hollen.
Thank you. Your federal team is here taking time off the front lines to let you know how proud we are that you're here for our children, for our country, for our future. January 21st last year, I was in Washington with 3 generations of women from my family. I tried to find the Maryland group, but you couldn't move in Washington that day. The people of this nation showed on January 21st to our new president that the ultimate power in this country is with the people. And you never stopped. Make no mistake about it. President Trump has caused harm to women, to our nation, and to the world. But thanks to you, thanks to the people, we have protected women's health care. We still have the Affordable Care Act. We protected women in the workplace. Sexual harassment will never be tolerated. Me Too movement. Thank you, Maryland General Assembly, for paid leave for workers. We've made progress this year. Thank you, Nevada, for ratifying the Equal Rights Amendment. We need only 2 more states. We can get it done. We've made progress this year. And we stand in solidarity with our sisters and brothers, the Dreamers. We will stand with them. The power is with the people, and I'm proud to be with you here in Baltimore. God bless.
Thank you, Ben Cardin, and I can tell you, this is a beautiful sight, looking out over thousands of people in the great city of Baltimore from around the state of Maryland to say, Donald Trump, no, we will not let you turn us around. We will not let you turn this country around. We're going to continue marching forward. And the reason I have faith, even when you have a White House that wants to divide us, even though you have a president engaged in demagoguery, even though you've got racist and repulsive comments coming out of the White House, the reason I have faith is because all of you are here, and 1 year ago today, the day after the inauguration, millions of Americans in every part of this country came out and said, no, we are not going to let you turn us around. We're not going to allow you to turn this country. We are going forward. Thank you, all of you. We are one. We are indivisible. We don't want a Trump shutdown, but we do want to shut down the division and hate coming out of the Trump White House. Now, all of us know that over the last year, that great march 1 year ago turned into a movement. And that movement helped us block the effort to totally destroy the Affordable Care Act. But that movement now has to turn into a wave at the ballot boxes in November 2018. And we know it's building because we saw what happened around the country in New Jersey, Washington State, and Virginia last November. And we saw the people of Alabama vote for decency and dignity over division. They had one candidate that wanted to take Alabama back to the days of George Wallace. They had another candidate that had prosecuted the KKK for the church bombings in Birmingham. And the people of Alabama said, no, we're not going back. We are going forward in Alabama. We need the march, the movement, to have that wave at the ballot box in 2018 so we can win back the United States House of Representatives and the United States Senate and get about the work of all the people of the United States of America. Thank you. Stay united. Remain indivisible. Out of many, we are one.
Thank you. Are we ready, Baltimore? Next, it is my distinct honor to bring to you Maryland's U.S. Congressman Dutch Ruppersberger and Congressman John Sarbanes.
Hello, Baltimore. Hello, Maryland. Do we have enthusiasm out here? Sure we do. You know, like most American families, mine is built on a foundation of strong women. I admire women like my wife, my mom, my daughter, and my sister, who not only run the ship at home, but are accomplished professionals in the workplace. Did you know that 2 of every 3 families rely on mom's paycheck to pay the bills? Well, you know what? It's time for Washington to catch up to this reality, right? It's time. Women earn as much as men when they do the same work, right? It's time we give working moms paid sick and maternity leave, right? I can't hear you, right? It's time to expand opportunities for female entrepreneurs, right? And it's time to leave women's healthcare choices to themselves, right? My friends in the Maryland delegation have our work cut out for us, and we're going back today. The current administration and congressional leaders are so out of touch, they would rather shut down the government than provide long-term funding for basic priorities. Our requests are reasonable. Give children health care. Protect the dreamers. Help us fight the opioid epidemic. And honor our veterans. Honor our veterans. Okay, these aren't unreasonable requests, are they? And that's all we're asking for. And we're going to go back and we're going to fight like hell to do what we can do to get these things done. Now, I'm so inspired when I look out and see so many men and women, working moms, who won't stand, and we cannot stand for leaders who don't stand for us, correct? Right. So I hope you continue your march to the voting booth in November and help us protect the leaders and take out the leaders who won't stand there to help us. Let's go. Let's have enthusiasm. Let's fight for our families, our community, and fight for America. And our vets.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, women of Baltimore. Thank you, women of Maryland, and thank you, women of America. Thank you for the march. I was at the inauguration. It was one of the lowest moments of my life. And then the next day I got up and I went to the March on Washington. And it was one of the highest moments of my life. Thank you for the march. Thank you for the rallies. Thank you for the Me Too movement that is changing America. You are building, everybody here is building an electoral energy grid all across America. Every time you march, every time you make a call, every time you knock on a door, you're putting energy back into the electoral energy grid that can change the course of the country. You put power onto the grid for Virginia. You put power onto the grid for Alabama. Last week you put power onto the grid for a small district in Wisconsin that went 15 points for Trump last year, and it went 12 points in the other direction this year. You're putting power back onto the grid that's going to make a difference in November. And let me close with this. Mahatma Gandhi said, conserve your anger, transmute it into energy, and it will become the power that can move the world. Your power is the power to move the world. Your vote is the power to move the world. Let's go forward. Thank you, Baltimore. Thank you, Maryland.
We don't have just great leaders at our national level. We have some pretty great leaders right here in Baltimore. And it's my pleasure to introduce the Baltimore City Council, members of the Baltimore City Council. Speaking today will be Councilmember Sharon Middleton Green, Mary Pat Clark, Shannon Sneed, Eric Costello, who's our host here in District 11, and Brandon Scott.
Hello, Baltimore! I had no doubt today, on this special day, the women of Baltimore and our male supporters would come out today and raise the temperature, literally raise the temperature, to help fight against the myriad of issues women still have to fight still have to stand up to and ultimately conquer. Our time is now. Our mission is not impossible. Our resolve stronger than ever. We must do the heavy lifting so that the next generation of women can walk in their God-given purpose, utilize their talents and gifts to make the powerful impact in Baltimore and on the world. Women of Baltimore, look at your neighbor, look at your friends, and go and say with me, let's do this! Let's do this! Let's do this! Good morning, Baltimore! Why are we here? Called together in record time in overflowing numbers. I think we see 10,000. I do. We serve as a vanguard of a new day arriving across the land for equity, justice, and respect, embracing a sea of the likewise no longer marginalized. We are women. Hear us roar. And what do we want? We stand together to implement the "Time is Up" of Oprah Winfrey's passionate call to action. And we stand to support our right to speak truth to power, like Senator Elizabeth Warren's praise of Coretta Scott King, when over the din of a pounding gavel, Senator Warren persisted. We stand together and pledge to activate each woman's personal passion and the power of sisterhood indivisible to ourselves persist, resist in taking on the injustices of freezing schools, poverty wages, DACA deceptions, heart-wrenching violence, and the tenure of elected leaders who, from their safe distances, blame us for the outcomes of their own misdeeds. We praise the legions of men who stand with us and pledge to either educate or override the chauvinist deniers. To ever honor the generations of women who have marched us bravely to this new day. In the words of Maya Angelou, here on the pulse of this new day, look up and out and into your sister's eyes and into your brother's face and say simply, very simply with hope, good morning, and may the force be with us. Good morning, sisters! Caring for myself is not self-indulgence. It is self-preservation. And this is an act of political warfare. Audre Lorde. Since the beginning of the women's rights movement, women of all races who come from different backgrounds have showed up and showed out for the equal rights of women. Women get things done. Women like Scepter Clark, who helped register over 600 black people to vote during Jim Crow. Women like Alice Paul, who helped organize the Women's Suffrage March in 1913. And women like Turner Burke, who created the Me Too campaign, inspired
us all their courage to fight oppression. Women have not always had the privilege to vote, the right to an education, the right to work, or the right to an independent life in or outside of marriage. We should not take these civil liberties for granted and exercise our rights each and every day. Hear me? Each and every day. While we've come a long way and accomplished so much, there is still work to be done with equal economic opportunities, reproductive rights, pregnancy and parenting, discrimination, and making it the norm to have the option to bring your child to work. The norm, people. You know what I'm talking about. Yes. And lastly, I have to mention self-care. Yes, I said it, self-care. Self-care, too often, us women prioritize the care and needs of others over ourselves. We tend to our children, husbands, wives, and careers, and put ourselves on the back burner. I challenge all of you today to begin practicing self-care with simple strategies like walking, just taking 15 to 20 minutes alone time, and finding your purpose in life. Even writing a journal, eating healthy, get active. There are so many things we can do to begin honoring yourself. Remember, treat yourself as kindly as you treat others, and show up for yourself as you show up for others. Have a good day, Baltimore!
Good morning, Baltimore. Come on, you can do better than that. Good morning, Baltimore! It's my honor to be able to host this event in the 11th District, but more importantly, I'm honored to be up here to stand with, not only with, but stand behind strong leaders, champions, relentless fighters like Shannon Sneed and Mary Pat Clark and Sharon Green Middleton and our Mayor Catherine Pugh and my state representatives Brooke Learman and Robin Lewis. It is truly my honor to stand with them and stand behind them and watch them lead. I wish you all could see what I see up here right now. It is absolutely beautiful. I've not seen something this beautiful in a very long time. But please remember, when we leave here today, we still have work to do. We need to every single day keep fighting for what's right. Thank you, Baltimore.
Thank you. Let's give it up again for our city council. And FYI, our actually sign language interpreters are running a little late, so if there's anyone out there who could assist us in the meantime, we would be grateful. Just come and check in over here at the table. Next, I would like to bring to the stage and introduce to you our Baltimore City Health Commissioner, Dr. Lena Wynn, and Baltimore City State's Attorney, Marilyn Mosby.
Good morning, Baltimore. Someone asked me last week, why are you going to the Women's March? And I said, where do I begin? How about with my patient, Sarah? She was 28 years old. She was born with a heart defect and she could not get health insurance because of a pre-existing condition. She couldn't pay for her medications, and one day she went into heart failure. By the time she came to the ER, her heart had stopped. We did everything we could, but her heart never beat again. The official cause of death was heart failure, but the real cause of death, failure of our system. Failure of our society. Failure of our humanity. I march today because healthcare should be a right, not a privilege only to those who can afford it. The Affordable Care Act has enabled millions of Americans to have health insurance, including 40,000 Baltimoreans. So tell me, does it make sense to take that away and roll back the gains that we made? Tell me, does it make sense to knowingly cause human suffering to children, families, and seniors? Today, I march for my patients. I also march for immigrants. I'm an immigrant myself. When I was 8 years old, my parents and I came to America. We were granted political asylum. We were lucky. I don't know where I would be if our country's policies were different, but I sure wouldn't be here as the health commissioner of Baltimore under the leadership of Mayor Pugh. I'm also a new mother. My son Eli is 5 months old. Today, I march for Eli because I will not have my son, our children, grow up in a society of racism, sexism, misogyny, bigotry, white supremacy, homophobia, transphobia, denial of science, denial of climate change, denial of the basic human values of dignity and compassion. I will not have my son, our children, grow up accepting of the status quo, the reality of injustice, and all these things that just do not make sense. I end with the words of Senator Elizabeth Warren, who said, "We can whimper, we can whine, or we can fight back." We come here to stand shoulder to shoulder to make clear we are here. We will not be silent. We will not play dead. We will fight for what we believe in. Thank you, Baltimore.
And again, coming to the stage, Baltimore City State's Attorney, Marilyn Mosby.
Good morning! All right, we can do better than that, ladies. We have to represent. I said good morning! I am so incredibly proud of each and every one of you to again stand with you bold, beautiful, brilliant warrior women. Today we are marking a monumental day. But a year ago today, we women took a stand all across this country against bigotry and hate. We came together for equality and justice. And 1 year later, we're here to do what women do best and what we've been doing for centuries, and that is lead. You see, warrior women, we're here today standing united from all over Baltimore, all over the state of Maryland, representing every community, every race, every religion, every neighborhood, and understanding that we as women are the foundation of our communities. We stand, that's right. We stand united today with a singular voice that we will fight and we will lead. We will fight for better schools for our children. We will fight for safer communities for our families. We will fight for better wages. We will fight for better opportunities for every little girl to realize her God-given potential. And we will lead because throughout this nation, in this great city, warrior women have always led the charge against justice and equality. And as I've always said, every great movement towards progress began with warrior women just like you. Warrior women just like you, who channeled their confidence and were unafraid to challenge the status quo in the pursuit of justice. Warrior women, unafraid to, in the words of Harriet Tubman, reach for the stars and change the world. Warrior women who act within that exact moment, who understand they never let any time, situation, or circumstance define their destiny. We are warrior women, and the stakes have never been so high. When we stand here today, less than 40 miles from the White House, currently occupied by a president president who seeks to lead by forcing us and focusing on what divides us and not what unites us. That's right. This is profoundly apparent when it comes to women and people of color and our brothers and sisters who immigrated from foreign lands to search for the American dream. In just a year, let's think about this, ladies. Our president has touted regression as making America great again on the backs of black and brown people, women, the LGBTQ community, and has single-handedly caused the deterioration of race relations, immigration reform, abortion rights, birth control, health care, voting rights, police accountability, and criminal justice reform in this country. Warrior women, we cannot allow that to stand. As women, as mothers, as sisters, as aunts, we are the best hope to save this country. And this is the one time that we all need to appreciate the word federalism and states' rights. We women are what is going to save our city. I'm here to say, time's up, Mr. President. Time's up. We're not going to just march today. It's time to strategize. It's time to organize. It's time to implement. So today we'll march for every child that needs health care. We'll march for every dreamer who's afraid that their family will be separated. We'll march for every family living paycheck to paycheck. We'll march to ensure safer streets and communities. But tomorrow, we're going to utilize this momentum to fight, to lead, to run for office. And we got to stick together. Ladies, we have to have a seat at the table. So as some powerful, disillusioned, misogynistic men illustrate time and time again that women should know their place. Ladies, we know our place. And our place belongs in city council. Our place belongs in city hall. Our place belongs in the state's attorney's office. Our place is in the state house. Our place will soon be in the White House. So are you with me, warrior women? We will fight for our families. We will fight for our schools. We will fight for safer streets. We will fight for our dignity against serial sexual predators. Why? Because time is up and our time is now. Ladies, our time is now. If not us, then who? If not now, then when? We are all warrior women. I will always stand and fight for you. Thank you. Let's get it going.
Thank you, State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby. Are we ready? We do have our sign interpreters here. If you can come forward to the stage right, we'd appreciate it. Our sign interpreters, come to stage right. Next up, we'd like to introduce to you 8 Notes Park School of Baltimore. And before we do that, we're going to take one quick second to mention a few special thank yous. Don't forget, live stream on Facebook, hashtag Baltimore Women's March. We'd like to thank Donna Martin, the march organizer for 2017, for being an avid supporter of our march. Liz Glazer, who developed the web designer and kept us updated. We're grateful. Our ASL interpreters, Karen Taylor and Ashley. We would also like to thank our volunteer medical personnel, Sabrina Allo and Molly Cook. I Survived Movement, Rashid Corey. Also, B&D's Baltimore Love, Brian Dobo. Baltimore Child Abuse Center volunteers and special assignments. We would like to thank Sheriff Anderson and the Baltimore City Sheriff's Office for supplying us with these beautiful and handsome deputies. Thank you. So again, next up, we have 8 Notes Park School of Baltimore.
We are 8 Notes Park School's all-female a cappella group. And we are honored to be here. We're going to be singing for you Quiet by Milk.
Put on your face, know your place, shut up and smile, don't spread your legs. I could deny, but no one knows me, no one ever will. If I don't say something, if I just lie still, would I be a monster, scare them all away? If I let them hear what I have to say, I can't keep quiet. No, 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 no. I can't keep quiet. No, 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 no. A one-woman riot. No, 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 no. I can't keep quiet for anyone. Not anymore. 'Cause no one knows me, no one ever will. If I don't say something, take that dry blue pill, they may see a monster, they may run away. But I have to do this. I can't keep quiet. No, 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 no. I can't keep quiet. No, 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 no. A one-woman riot. No, 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 no. I can't keep quiet. There'll be someone who understands. Let it out, let it out, let it out now. Must be someone who understands. Let it out, let it out, let it out now. There'll be someone who understands. Let it out, let it out, let it out now. I can't keep quiet. No, 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 no. I can't keep quiet. No, 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 no. I can't keep quiet. No, 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 I won't keep quiet.
Let's give it up for 8 Notes one more time for that beautiful song. Next, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to bring to the stage Melanie Hood Wilson from Community College of Baltimore County and Mari Cruz from CASA.
This is the year feminism went as mainstream as it has been in my lifetime. From the 2017 march to hashtag #MeToo to hashtag Time's Up. Intersectionality has risen from the obscurity of feminist academia to a commonly used phrase, a rallying cry, and more a demand for our inclusion and a recognition of our value to the movement as women of color, and also for our LGBTQIA sisters. Even as we discuss inclusion and the importance of intersectionality, I still have so many sisters who dismiss feminism and its accompanying movements as the province of white women and an effort to assert their privilege and concerns and make their voices louder as we in our communities and our concerns are little more than background noise, or that we are stepladders upon which they climb out of oppression while benefiting from ours. So I say to that, it is 2018. Feminism is ours. We can only concede it to others. We cannot be excluded from it because we are the lifeblood of feminism in 2018. To be a black woman in Trump's America is to be a feminist. We have no protections in a country that actively is waging war against brown people and grabbing you-know-whats along the way. We have emerged from this era as the voices of resistance and the leaders of a far wider struggle than we recognize. Tarana Burke was the mastermind behind #MeToo and Google Modern Feminism, and you will see names like Roxanne Gay, Ursula Burns, Dolores Huerta, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, and let's not forget our strong trans feminist sisters like Danica Roem. 3 queer black women founded the Black Lives Matter movement, and black women just sent Alabama's first Democratic senator in multiple generations to Capitol Hill. Our history and our legacy as black women, we were organizers and the labor force of the civil rights movement. Queer women of color were the strong Stonewall warriors who were whitewashed from film. Native American women were the original feminists, fighting for protection of their children and their land. We were feminists before there were feminists. We cannot be excluded from a movement in which we are the loudest and politically active and fiercest voices. When women of color disavow feminism, we deny our role in protecting, growing, and uplifting our communities. When Latina, domestic, agricultural, and factory workers stand up against workplace harassment, their families go without homes and food. They don't have Hollywood dollars to fall back on. This is their movement. This is an immigrant woman's movement. When it comes to feminism, women of color don't just lead, we lead. Our lives depend on the equality that we have historically demanded and that we continue to fight for. With our words, with our votes, with our life's blood. This movement belongs to all of us, all of you. Black, white, Latina, Native, Asian, queer, and straight. This is not about sororitizing a movement, but uniting one as we fight together for equality. Our white sisters. Boycott Twitter when Leslie Jones and Jamil Hill are attacked, as so many did for Rose McGowan. And remember this sisterhood. Look around you today. This sisterhood. When you close that curtain on the voting booth in November. This movement knows no color. This movement knows no boundaries of sexual orientation or gender. From our diversity comes unity. A sister over there has a sign this morning that says, without all of us, there are none of us. From many comes one.
Hi everyone. How is everybody? How are the women of Baltimore? Woo! I'm so proud to be right here. Let me tell you who I am and where I came from. My name is Maricruz Abarca. I came from
Mexico when I was 50 years old, and I was always afraid to come back to school because I didn't speak my language. Yes, I was afraid, but that's something that I don't have now. I'm not afraid anymore to say that I'm a woman who dreams, to say that I'm a woman of Baltimore, that Baltimore is my home. I'm so proud of this state. You can't imagine how hard it is to be a woman, but to be an immigrant, it is even harder. Harder in a country that we have been labeling. I have kids, and they are the reason that I'm fighting right now. My kids, my beautiful twin girls, they are 4 years old, and my 11-year-old who has special needs. It is hard for me to go to bed every single night without thinking if tonight will be the night that I'm going to see my kids for the last time. What about to drop them off at school? It is hard. You don't even can imagine to drop them off and thinking, will this be the last time that I will see them? They put an expiration date on my family. They put an expiration date on my dreams because I am a business owner. I am a student who went to Baltimore City Community College. Yes, I am, because I want to become a lawyer one day. My dream is to go to UB and accomplish that. But I can't do it without expiration date. I can't do it with that expiration date on my dreams. No, they won't stop me. They won't take it away the only thing that I have, and that's my voice. I won't be silenced. No one will silence me because I have a reason to fight. I have family, I have a business, and I have a dream. Baltimore is my home, and I'm proud to say that I'm a woman and I'm a dreamer. Thank you, everybody.
Wonderful. Our next speakers are Zainab Chowdhury from Council on American Islamic Relations and Monica Stevens Yorkman, Sisters of the Tea.
Assalamu alaikum, Baltimore. I can't hear you. Assalamu alaikum, Baltimore. Peace be with you all. I am so humbled, so honored to be here today with you as a lifelong Baltimorean, as a proud daughter of immigrants, and as a Muslim American woman who is more determined than ever to speak my truth. As I stand here today, I recognize that I am privileged to a platform that is denied to activists like Ahed Tamimi, simply because I am American and she is Palestinian. In this moment, allow me to affirm that banning Muslims does not make our country safer. Handing off Jerusalem when it's not our government's to give does not promote justice. Rampant sexism and misogyny do not liberate our country. And nothing about tearing families apart makes our country great. We know change is coming, but it demands action. It's up to us to elect leaders who reflect our values. So put on your walking shoes and get ready to march to the polls in 2018. If you are eligible to vote, be sure that you are registered to vote. If you are registered to vote, be sure to rock the vote. For anyone who doubts the power of one single vote, ask Democrat Shelley Simmons of Virginia, who was forced to concede an election over one vote. And black woman in Alabama changed the color of a map, proving that color of maps is not more permanent convictions. When women unite and mobilize, we see progress. Aboriginal elder Lila Watson said, "If you come here to help me, you are wasting our time. But if you have come because your liberation is bound up with mine, then let us work together." Sisters and brothers, it does not matter to me if you are black, if you are white, if you are Asian, Jewish, Muslim, Catholic, LGBTQIA, or a dreamer. I will fight for your rights, and I will defend your agency. None of us wins unless all of us wins. Pledge to protect one another, love one another, create space for one another, and go out there and vote for one another. Thank you. God bless you.
Hello, Baltimore! I said, hello, Baltimore! I am honored and humbled to be here. I'm a 64-year-old African-American transgender woman. And what that means in this city is they tried to kill me twice, and I'm still here. And I look at all of you, and I'm amazed at the power of womanhood. But I came here to deliver a message. I look out at all of you, and I see Black Lives Matter shirts, and I see diversity shirts, and I know that we don't have enough diversity. We have Washington that's trying to strain diversity out of us. We have Washington that's trying to make it the United States of white men. And we have to do something about that. We have to diversify, and we have to unify, and we have to hold on to each other for dear life. This is about our lives. We have to strengthen our sisterhood today and right now. I've lived through this over and over and over again. I lived through this when they tried to assassinate all of our leaders. I've lived through this when they tried to take back every freedom that we've ever won. And so our sisterhood is more important than ever before. Look to your left and look to your right. And if there's someone that you don't know, then meet somebody. Do not live here with the same people you came here with and not meet a stranger. This is all about our lives. I was in D.C. a year ago, and 1 million women were in D.C. I had a woman who didn't know me pick me up off the ground and carry me to a 7-Eleven and buy me something to drink. Sisterhood is about us nurturing each other. Sisterhood is about us taking care of each other. Sisterhood is about us caring for each other. Sister Teresa said, the problem with the human race is that we have forgotten that we belong to each other. We must belong to each other. We must remember that we all come from the same place. I'm only here to deliver this message because this message is the most important message. This message is a message of unity and humanity. Because violence doesn't discriminate. Violence doesn't care if I'm cis or trans. Violence doesn't care if you're black, white, or brown. Violence comes for us all. And the only way we can prevail is to prevail together. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to keep this movement because before too long we're going to be marching down the road. And why are we marching? We're marching because we're marching to the polls. So next up, I would like to call to the stage Veronica Poole of Poole and Associates. Dana Vickers Shelley, Baltimore County Democratic Club, and Dr. Reagan McDonald Mosley, Planned Parenthood. Veronica.
Thank you, thank you. Hermanas, sisters, I stand before you as a Dominican American, and I wanted to tell you that for hundreds of years, this country has been the beacon of opportunity for the poor and the tired, aptly represented by a tall and strong statue of liberty. And isn't that interesting that that tall statue is a woman? Yes, it's a woman. She's a perfect combination of welcome, empowerment, and strength, standing tall and standing proud. As women, we birth, we feed, we clean, we teach. Yes, we do those things really, really well, but we do so much more. We own companies. We lead cities. We sit in the highest court of the land. But that's not enough. We still have a pay gap. We still have not enough of us sitting in position of power, and we're not sitting in elected offices as we should. So we need to be intentional about our actions, our experiences, our perseverance, our ability to arrive at compromise and lead is what makes us invaluable in this country. So we have to drive change. Number one, we must vote for ladies and people that represent us. We have to contribute to their campaigns, and if they are not running for office, then we run for office. We have to open our doors for our ladies, our immigrants, and our dreamers. And even more powerful than supporting one another is realizing our own power. We have power, we have influence, and we must use it every single day. Ladies, gracias.
Good morning, leaders, advocates, neighbors, friends, and leaders. I say leaders twice because all of us here are leaders in our own right. Each of us is powerful. Today's theme is about bringing our power, our individual and collective power, to the polls. Nothing is more important than that most sacred American right, voting, and don't let anyone take that away from you. In 2018, we vote for state and local officials whose actions will truly decide how money is spent in our schools, whose neighborhoods will be safest, and what resources will be available for our children and our elders. We must make sure that everyone in Baltimore and across Maryland is prepared to use their power to register and be ready to vote. Is your best friend registered? Take her to get registered on Monday, and then take her to vote on primary day and in November, and then take her back to work for her shift if she needs to go back. And what do we do when we hear about anyone trying to take our vote away? What do we do when people say our vote doesn't matter? I'll tell you what we do. We vote anyway. We show up when the polls open with our sister, our nephew, our neighbor. We show up and stand in line until we cast our vote. And when we get home, we call our church member and make sure that he voted too. And I'll close with a quote from Maryland Shiro Harriet Tubman, whose words remind us, every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember you have within you the strength, the passion, the patience to reach for the stars and change the world. Resist ignorance and fear. Embrace fairness. Register and vote. Register and vote. Get your voter registration card. Thank you.
Good morning, Baltimore. I'm Reagan McDonald Mosley, the Chief Medical Officer of Planned Parenthood of Maryland. How are you? It is such an honor to be here on behalf of the 1 in 5 women in America who've been to Planned Parenthood in their lifetime for health care. Last year's Women's March sparked an energy that continues to this day. In the past year, we've defeated Trump Care and attempts to defund Planned Parenthood. Women are speaking out against harassment. We reject the attacks on Muslims and on immigrants. We stand up against racism, misogyny, and capitalist exploitation. We dedicate ourselves to the collective resistance. It's 1 year later now, and we must continue to link arms for the fight for working women to earn a living wage, for the right for immigrants, families to live without fear, and for the rights of mothers everywhere to raise families in safe communities. We will not be made to forget that Black lives do matter, and we will never forget to say her name. We stand with hometown heroes like Tawanda Jones, sister of Tyrone West, a man in Baltimore who died in police custody. Tawanda has been protesting with her family about her brother's death every week since 2013. And Erica Bigford, who organized the ceasefire weekends in 2017 in hopes of reducing violence. Women are on the front lines leading the largest grassroots movement in generations. Simply put, it's 2018, and women, people of color, members of the LGBTQ community, immigrants, and others are demanding full equality in all places of our lives. It's 2018. We will celebrate the 45th anniversary of Roe on Monday, and yet we are still debating about women's bodily autonomy. We're still fighting for a world that respects women and treats them equally. We are still fighting where women's bodies are truly their own. And that's what Planned Parenthood of Maryland has been fighting for 90 years. Each individual fulfilling their own path, and the fundamental belief that freedom and full equality cannot be achieved until everyone has control of their lives at the most basic level. Donald Trump, Mike Pence, and other extremist politicians have spent the last year pushing laws and policies to control our bodies, take away our rights, and block access to health care. They're going to keep trying, and that's why our movement will only grow stronger and more important. More women will speak out, more women will run for office, and more powerful men and politicians will be held accountable. We won't stop fighting until all women and all people can control their bodies and their lives. Women are and have always been leading the way. Women are a powerful force, women are courageous, women are resilient, and we cannot be silenced. One of us can be dismissed, 2 of us can be ignored, but together we are a movement and we are unstoppable. Thank you.
And now it's my privilege to introduce the musical ministry of Kadesh.
Good morning, everyone. I'm reminded of a scripture that says, Psalms 133, what good and pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in the spirit of unity. So as we're here together celebrating women's rights, we just want you all to just be excited with us as we just celebrate. Just put your hands like this. Woo! Put your hands like this. Hey! These are the words. The windows of heaven are open. Clap like this. God's hands are extended. We are your children. He wants to bless you. He wants to bless you.
is my honor, my privilege, and my pleasure to introduce to you our Maryland senators from the Maryland State Delegation. And in this party, I want you to know that these are two of the most powerful female senators in Maryland. Two of the most powerful legislators, because our pro tem is a delegate. I'm going to introduce you guys individually, and then you can come up one at a time to speak. So first, I'd like to introduce to you my good friend, Senator of the 43rd District in Baltimore City, Senator Joan Carter Conway. But wait, you have to know that she is the first African-American woman to chair a committee in the Maryland General Assembly. Not only has she broke barriers, but this woman is the epitome of standing in her power every day. Senator Joan Carter Conway. Next up will be Speaker Pro Tem, Delegate Adrian Jones. And here for support, we'd like to acknowledge Senator Richard Madaleno. So I'm going to move out of the way so Joan can take us. Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize, forgive me. And I do not want to forget, from the 40th District in Baltimore City, Senator Barbara Robinson.
Actually, good morning. I think it's afternoon now, but I say greetings to all of my women in the struggle. I'm honored to see our male counterparts. Honored. So let me, I'm this humble and timid individual. I don't do a lot of talking. I'm a debate and analysis person, but let me just say one thing, just one thing only. Normally, my white male counterparts say that I am aggressive. But let me tell you what I am. Let me tell you, what you see is what you get. And I stand firm on inequality issues and will continue to do so. The first 2 years of Governor Hogan's administration, it was interesting because there was no diversity. I actually sit on executive nominations. And I was the one always like, where's the diversity? Where's the diversity? So every time there was an appointment, to the boards, and it's the same thing in the public, we lack enough women on our corporate boards, we need more women. But even in the state, within the confines of the state, they used to always send me, for some reason, 5 white males, Republican white males. So I asked them very kindly, can you find me some white women at least? And they began to send them. But let me just say, I want to tell you 2 things and I'm gone. Recently, we know that teaching is a woman-dominated profession. We know that. And we applaud all our hard-working women and we applaud all our teachers. But I was really taken back when there was a substantiated report that substantiates what I believed all the time. Our teachers are 40% underpaid compared to certificated individuals. That's something wrong with that picture. And it needs to be fixed. And we're going to attempt to fix it for all of the teachers. But it's sad that women-dominated professions are underpaid. The other issue as it relates to education, and I'm going to continue to stand on my soapbox, and I'm always, education is going to be my priority till the day that I die. Education will be my priority. I stood on my soapbox for the discrimination of HBCUs. I did the DREAM Act. I don't allow any individual to be discriminated against. We need not discriminate, and I will not allow it. But the final stage is, and it was, I don't know, it did something to me. Because when you look at education and educational funding and what happens in Baltimore City, but it's not just in Baltimore City. All of the economic jurisdictions that have economic disparities, and it's 5% below. Our school systems are funded 5% below the prosperous jurisdictions in our state. And there's something wrong with that picture. And my delegate, Maggie McIntosh, is over there somewhere, and we're going to fix it. Thank you. I will remain in the struggle.
Good afternoon, Baltimore and areas beyond. Thanks for coming out today. I am Delegate Adrian Jones, and I had the distinct pleasure of serving as the Speaker Pro Tem in the House of Delegates. Let me tell you about the good news that's occurring in the House of Delegates. Of the 141 members, 49 are women. Of course, we need more, but that's only 35%. But Maryland had the first woman's caucus in this country, starting in 1972. Happened to be the year I graduated from high school. Also, in the House, we have 7 standing committees. Of those 7 standing committees, guess what? 4 are chaired by women. And one of those committees, you heard her name mentioned, is the Appropriations Committee, chaired by Maggie McIntosh from Baltimore City and Tawana Gaines from Prince George's County. Now that's the good news. Now, this is what we need you to do. You're out here in great numbers. You come to Annapolis quite often for rallies. That's great. This is my assignment to you. Each of you, because I'm scanning the crowd, each of you has something that you're passionate about, that is something that's near and dear to you. These are issues that we are debating and having bill hearings in Annapolis. We need to see you in those bill hearings. We need you to contact less enlightened members on those committees and let them know that this is what way you want them to vote. You can make a difference. Don't just think that rely on that you can't do anything. Yes, you can. You do have a voice, and your voice does matter. And help us out. Help us out. And one last thing I'm going to say, you'll hear during this campaign a lot of dialogue, some rhetoric. I ask of you, this is your second assignment. Just because someone said something doesn't mean that it is true. Do your fact checking. Fact check, fact check, fact check. That's what I'm going to leave you with. Thank you, and I hope to see you in Annapolis.
Thank you. I also want to recognize Senator Rich Madaleno and Senator Barbara Robertson. We would love to have you speak, but we're way over time. Okay. Up next, I want to introduce Ava Pipitone from Baltimore Transgender Alliance.
Hello, everybody. All right, I have a really simple message. You need to remember, you need to trust, and you need to join us. Starting from the top. Remember, this movement has been going on for a very long time. We have been marching since before the Queens of Stonewall refused to stop. Since before Martin Luther King was assassinated, we had the first Baltimore uprising in 1968. Since before misogyny was elected into the office of the president. And remember, this movement is not a reaction to whoever that president may be. This movement has been happening. And we need to upgrade our language from reaction to collective action. And right now we need to take space for women. Trust holds us all together. We need to trust our generation is doing our thinking. We need to trust our generation when we don't anchor our womanhood in the genitals of white cis women, but rather we anchor our womanhood in this community here today. We need to trust the stories. We need to upgrade our narrative of trans murder, trans homelessness. We need to upgrade to trans entrepreneurs, trans mothers, trans fathers, trans survivors. Trust that our generation is ready to take this torch. And now, I invite all of you. I invite the movement for trans liberation, the movement for black liberation, the movement for survivors of political incarceration, the movement for survivors of state violence. Come and join us. And keep coming back. Keep coming back from addiction. Come out. Come out as queer. Come out as gay. Come out as trans. Come out and join us. There's more that brings us together than divides us. And it is our diversity that makes us stronger and our adaptability that makes us unstoppable. Thank you.
Thank you, Ava. And now, it's my pleasure to introduce the future of the labor movement in Maryland. Ricara Jones from 1199 and host committee member, and the first woman elected to be the president of the State Federation of the AFL-CIO, representing more than 500 affiliates and 350,000 union members, Donna Edwards.
Hello, Baltimore! So I'm here today to tell you that the women in Maryland are overworked and underpaid. We live in one of the wealthiest states in the country, and yet 2 out of 3 women are low-wage workers. Out of all the low-wage workers in this state, 55% are women. These are strong, beautiful, talented women who take care of your children, your aging parents. They are healthcare workers, retail employees, airport workers, security guards, but more importantly, they are women. They are working 40 hours and bringing home $370 a week. That's a damn shame. We cannot sit back and allow women who raise families and who are the primary income in their household to continue to receive starvation wages. No one working full-time should have to get food stamps or cash assistance because there should be dignity in work. We have ignored the cries of our women. They are being forced to make the impossible choice between putting food on the table and keeping the lights on. Because for too long, this country has undervalued women's labor. But we have an opportunity to change it. Our elected officials in Annapolis, they're here today. They have a chance to show they support women's issues and be on the right side of history by raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour. But listen, they can't go without us. We have to go beyond this march today and turn our voices into action. As women, we can't do better until we all do better. So when you leave this march today, call your legislators, show up in Annapolis, and ask them, when it's time to fight for 15 and raise wages for women, are they going to stand with women or with greedy corporations?
Are they going to stand with women or with special interests? Are they going to stand with women or with business as usual? We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are going to raise the wage. Raise the wage. Raise the wage. Thank you. Hello, women, and the brave men who support us. I'm here to show you this is what big labor looks like. If there is something wrong, that in the year 2018, I'm the first woman to be president of the AFL-CIO in Maryland, D.C. We've got to do better for our women and ourselves. I want to welcome everyone. Baltimore's my town, but there's so many people here. I met people from Anne Arundel County, from Carroll County, from Baltimore, from Hartford. Thank you for traveling in. The labor movement, for all of our hundreds of years of being active, have always been at the forefront of every movement that has changed America. And we ourselves were part of lifting up workers all around our country and welcoming new workers to come forward. We have always lived with the belief that an injury to one is an injury to all. And we stand firm in that an injury to any resident in our country is an injury to all of us. And it is time that we work together, not try to be divided. And I call upon women. Women, we are the natural leaders. We lead from the beginning. We are the ones in the workplaces that are bringing the humanity. We bring the get well cards for people to sign. We bring the birthday cakes. We organize people to take care of the sick. But it is time that we speak up, that we stand up, and that we stand out and take our leadership roles. Mother Mary Jones was a most dangerous woman at one point. She was labeled by the president because she was an organizer out here for the coal mines. She lost all of her children and her husband. Well, what she said on the steps of the West Virginia Capitol still makes me think. She said, women, don't let them call you ladies. The Rockefellers created ladies. God created woman. It is time that you recognize and you come forward. And I'm asking you, as everyone before us, be strong, be vigilant, continue our activities, continue this energy, take it to the State House, take it to the White House, take it to the Supreme Court and the federal courts. We're here, we're not going back, we're fighting for everyone to go forward and everyone to get their fair share of this prosperity. Thank you very much for being here.
We have Delegate Robin Lewis, 46th District. We have Delegate Brooke Learman, 46th District. Thank you for letting us have this party in your house. And we have Delegate Mary Washington from the 43rd. So up first, I'd like to give the mic to Shelley Kettleman.
Good afternoon, Baltimore. I stand before you today as a mom, as a wife, as a Baltimorean, as a Jewish woman, and as one of the 49 elected women of the House of Delegates. We need more. 1 year ago, millions of people, led by millions of women, came together in peaceful protest to express our anger and disappointment in the election of Donald Trump as president. We wish we would have been celebrating the election of the first woman president. We were peaceful, but we were angry. And do you know what happens when women get angry? We take action. And that's what we've been doing over the past year. Like the women on whose shoulders we stand, who were successful in changing the workplace by creating a 40-hour work week, making the workplace safer from harassment, ending child labor, and pushing for fair pay. We've been meeting, calling, and organizing and educating, sending postcards, and running for office. Thousands of women have been trained on how to run for office, and they're out on the campaign trail now. And we're being successful. Just look at Virginia and the record number of women elected to the state legislature there. And we're going to do the same thing here, aren't we? With people like Courtney Watson, who's running. She's out there somewhere. We're focused on both the political arena and the policy arena. When they go to Mar-a-Lago, here in Maryland, we go knock on doors. When they put up barriers to voter registration, here in Maryland, we expand access to the ballot box. When they want to take away our health care, here in Maryland, we protect access. When they want to take control over our bodies and our right to choose, here in Maryland, we expand access to contraception. And when they pass a tax plan that benefits the corporations and special interests, here in Maryland, we support a taxpayer protection plan. When they want to give the wealthiest among us tax breaks, we push for an increase in the minimum wage to $15. As the primary sponsor of that bill, along with Senator Rich Natalino in the General Assembly, I'm ready to lead that fight with him, but we need your help. The fight for 15 is about fairness and equity. It's only fair that workers get paid a fair wage. And in Maryland, this will affect well over 500,000 workers, over 55% of whom are women. They're full-time workers, and half of whom are people of color. And these aren't teens. 40% of the workers are minimum wage and 40 or older. Do you know what happens when women get angry? We take action. In the immortal words of Barbara Mikulski, do you know what we're going to do? Whether you're in heels or tennis shoes, a skirt or a suit, we're going to put on our lipstick, square our shoulders, and suit up and get to work. With your enthusiasm and energy, I know we can get it done. Thanks.
So next up, I'd like to introduce one of the most brilliant, compassionate, strong women that I know, my good friend and emerged sister, delegate from the 46th, Robin Lewis.
Wow. Hello, Baltimore. I love you so. My name is Robin Lewis. I am your delegate right here in the 46th district. Welcome to my district. Thank you for coming. I want to thank all of our sponsors, all the organizers, especially Emerge Maryland. Emerge Maryland is a program that trained women just like me to run for office. I look forward to seeing all of the amazing women who are going to come through the Emerge program, get trained, run for office, take over the world. I'm also, this is how you learn how to lead without notes. I am also the first African American woman to ever hold elected office right here in the 46th. You are standing. You're looking at history, people. What I need you to do is keep me accountable. I may be the first, but that's not enough just being the first. I want to be the best. Fighting for women is what brought me to Baltimore. I came here to work on an international health program to save women from cervical cancer. I worked on projects all over the world, in Asia, Africa, and the Caribbean. But what I learned right here in Baltimore was how to organize, how to bring people together, how to change the world. I'm going to keep doing that. I will keep working in healthcare. And one thing I want you to know, I'm going to do in the General Assembly this year, I am introducing a bill to expand healthcare access. The basic health plan is going to help people just like you, your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, your moms and your dads, to get health insurance coverage no matter what that maniac in the White House tries to do. accountable, stay in touch, register to vote, show up in March. You have the power to change this country. I will do my part, but I need you. I'm Robin Lewis, your delegate in the 46th. Thank you, Baltimore.
Delegate Mary Washington from the 43rd District.
Good morning, Baltimore women. How are you? I am Mary Washington, and I am the first and the only out loud and proud African-American woman elected to office in the Maryland General Assembly. And we need more. We are here today in front of this memorial to war, an edifice built by the patriarchy, built by those to remind us about the tools and the consequences of the violence and the discord that it can wreak upon our community. We are here, however, all of us here today, in celebration of women and the power within each of us, that when it is unleashed, we are a living and breathing testimony to life. We are here today as women across the planet, building a dynamic monument to the unrelenting necessity to do what must be done for today, for our children, for ourselves, and for future generations. We are building a monument that will exceed the strength, the breadth, the height of those gray dead walls that stand behind us and that some of us feel surround us every day. My sisters and brothers, these walls are crumbling. We have seen resistance. We have seen persistence. We have seen resolve more than ever this year. And you know what? 45 may be able to shut down the government, but he's not going to shut this down right here. He's not going to shut it down because we will resist. We will resist the temptation to give up. We will resist the temptation to blame ourselves. We will resist the temptation to believe that the way it has been is the way that it must always be. We will persist in building a country and a state and a better Baltimore. We will persist in creating a narrative, a new narrative, where no one is left behind, where we are dedicated and committed to progressive and sustainable change, where we will trust each other to have our backs. We will build a culture and a narrative where difference does not challenge solidarity, where critique is not disloyalty, where you don't have to carry the same sign to march in the same march and the same parade for a better Baltimore. I am here with you, and one more thing I want to tell you. It's not the seat, it's not the chair, it's not the office. You have the power inside each one of you to challenge for a better tomorrow. You have that power in the faces of your friends and your family to make this world a better place. And I look forward to standing with you as long as it takes. Thank you.
All right, and now I want you to put your hands together for Baltimore's own Mr. Davon Fleming.
How's everybody doing? Hey, Baltimore! Listen, first, I gotta say thank you for having me. It's so good to be a part of something as amazing as this, where people are actually fighting for what they believe in and standing up for what's right. I see so much integrity. I see so much love, so much passion. I just love it, and thank you all for being a part. This is amazing just to be on this platform and be able to give back to my city. I want you to know you guys look so beautiful out here from where I'm standing. You guys are so beautiful. So I won't take too much of your time, but there was a song that I did on the show called Gravity. So if we can just stay where the light is. You know, the light is definitely getting the help and getting what we need definitely from the community. So if everybody can just, if you have signs, just wave your hands up high, wave your signs up high. And we're gonna sing this one good time for the one time. If you know the song, sing it with me. All right, it's a really, really, really beautiful song. All right, so come on, can y'all just wave your hands like this as a sign of unity? If you got your signs, wave your signs. Gravity is working against me, and gravity, wants to bring me down. No, oh, twice as much and twice as good. It can't sustain like one half good. Said it's wanting more. Send me to my knees. Oh, gravity, it's working against me. Gravity, wants to bring me down. Oh, twice as much, twice as good, and can't sustain.